stop what you are doing right now. Because if this video made you stop scrolling, if something in those words landed in your chest before your brain even finished reading them, that was not an accident. That was spirit, putting this exactly where it needed to be, in front of exactly the right person at exactly the right moment. And what I am about to tell you is going to explain something that has probably been confusing you for a while now. Why do certain people have such a problem with you? Why does your simply existing in certain spaces create this specific uncomfortable energy in people who barely even know you? Why are you being mocked, discussed, pulled apart in conversations you were never invited to by people who should not even be thinking about you this much? I am going to answer all of that today. And I promise you, by the time this reading is over, you are going to understand what is actually happening in these people. And you are never going to look at their mocking the same way again. And real quick, before we go deeper, if you are a Scorpio, Leo, Cancer, or Capricorn, Spirit literally stopped me before I started pulling cards and said, find them first. Because these signs are carrying the heaviest version of what this reading is addressing today. And Virgo, Pisces, Aquarius, you are in this reading too, but in a very specific way that is going to become clear when we get to the cards. Put your sign in the comments right now, because by the end of this reading, you are going to understand exactly why Spirit pulled your energy into this today. Stay with me. Every single word of this was built for you. Can I be honest with you about something before we get into the cards? I almost did not record this today. June 18th. It has been one of those mornings where everything felt heavy, and I was not sure I had the energy to sit down and do a reading properly. And then I shuffled the deck, and the Sun card flew out before I even finished. And something in me shifted, because the Sun card does not show up for heavy energy. The Sun card shows up for someone who carries light so genuinely and so completely that even Spirit cannot wait to confirm it. And I knew immediately, this reading is not for me to be ready. This reading is for whoever needs to hear what this card has to say today. The Sun card is about someone whose warmth, whose realness, whose natural way of moving through the world draws people in without trying, who radiates something that certain people feel before she has said a single word, who makes rooms feel different just by walking into them, not because she is performing anything, because she is just genuinely herself. And here is the painful truth about being that kind of person in a world full of people who are performing. The real thing makes the performance impossible to sustain. And people who have been performing their whole lives will do almost anything to protect the performance from being exposed, including mocking you. Okay, I need to pause here and just be real with you for a second. Because I think some of you found this video and felt two things at the exact same time. You felt recognition that yes, this is describing something real that has been happening in your life. And you also felt something slightly uncomfortable, like maybe admitting that people are jealous of you feels arrogant, like maybe claiming that the mocking is about their insecurity and not about something you actually did wrong feels like you are letting yourself off the hook for something. And Spirit pressed on me to address that specific feeling before we go into the cards, because that discomfort, that hesitation to fully own that people are genuinely threatened by who you are, is actually one of the most significant things happening in your energy right now. The people mocking you are banking on that discomfort, are counting on the part of you that will always find a reason to take some of the blame, that will always soften the truth of what is actually happening, to make it more palatable for everyone involved. Spirit said, not today. Today, we are telling the full truth about what is happening. And the full truth is that the identity crisis in the title belongs entirely to the people who cannot handle who you are becoming. Not you, Hit subscribe if you just felt that land somewhere specific, because this reading is about to go somewhere real. Okay, the cards. Let me tell you what I am seeing, because none of this is subtle, and I am not going to water it down for you. The people mocking you right now are not doing it from a place of strength. They are not confident people who encountered something they disagree with and chose humor as a response. They are people who looked at you, really looked at you, and felt something shift in their chest that they did not know how to handle. They felt insecure, genuinely, deeply, privately insecure, in a way that has your name on it. Not because you made them feel that way on purpose, not because you said or did anything designed to diminish them, but because something about who you are, how you carry yourself, how comfortable you seem in your own skin, while they are quietly unraveling in theirs, held up a mirror that showed them something they were not ready to see. And mocking you was the only way they knew how to put the mirror down. That is the identity crisis the title is talking about, and it is not yours. It has never been yours. It belongs entirely to the people who are so bothered by your existence that they have built a whole side activity around diminishing you. Now, I need to say something about that sun card again. Because the sun does not stop shining, because certain people find it too bright, the sun just keeps showing up every single day, whether people are ready for it or not, whether it is comfortable for them or not. Without adjusting its frequency for the people who would prefer a little less light. That is you. That is what Spirit is confirming with this card, over and over in this reading. You are the sun energy, and the identity crisis happening around you right now is the natural consequence of people who have been living in carefully managed shade suddenly having to reckon with full light. Now, I want to get into something specific, because this is where the reading starts to get really detailed, and I need you to stay close. Here is what I need you to understand about why these specific people are mocking you. Not just that they are jealous, because jealousy is a word we throw around without really unpacking what it means. I want to unpack it today. These people built their sense of self on comparison, on looking around at the people near them and measuring, on the specific quiet comfort that comes from believing that what they have and what they are is at least more than what the people closest to them have and are. Most people who do this never even realize they are doing it. It is just the system they developed to feel okay about themselves. Measure outward, come out ahead, feel stable. And then something happened. You grew, or you changed, or you simply started showing up more fully as yourself, and suddenly the measurement stopped working in their favor. And that is exactly where the mocking started. Because mocking is a measuring tool. When someone mocks you, what they are actually doing is trying to place you below them on their internal scale. If they can make you seem ridiculous, or delusional, or too much, or not enough, they can reestablish themselves above you in the comparison and feel stable again. But here is the problem. With trying to mock someone whose light is genuinely real, it does not work. Because what you carry is not a performance that can be undercut by someone else's commentary. It is just you. The sun card again. It just keeps showing up. The mocking is not working on you the way they need it to work. And the fact that it is not working is making the identity crisis worse, not better. Let me talk about something that Spirit kept bringing me back to in this reading and would not let me skip. Some of you have been responding to this mocking by shrinking, by pulling back, by making yourself less visible, toning down the very things about yourself that bother these people in an attempt to reduce the friction. And some of you have been hardening, building walls, becoming less warm, less open, less yourself, as a protective response to being targeted for simply being who you are. I see both of those things in these cards. And I need to say something directly. Both of those responses are costing you something important. Because the thing that is triggering the identity crisis in these people, the thing that has them so bothered and so insecure and so desperate to mock you into something smaller, that is not a liability. That is your gift. The specific quality that makes certain people uncomfortable in your presence, the naturalness, the authenticity, the sun energy that just radiates without trying, that is not something you should be managing down. That is the thing you were sent here to be. The discomfort you create in people who are not ready to meet real is not a sign that something is wrong with you. It is a sign that something is very right with you. In a world where almost everything is performed and curated and carefully managed, simply being real is the most radical thing a person can do. Do not shrink. Do not harden. Do not adjust your frequency, because certain people cannot tune in. Let the signal stay exactly as strong as it naturally is. The right people will find it. They already are finding it. Now, here's the part I really need you to receive, because Spirit pressed on this hard at this point in the reading. You are not responsible for other people's identity crises. I know that sounds obvious, but somewhere in you, there is a part that has been wondering if maybe you are the problem. If maybe you present yourself in a way that is unnecessarily provocative. If maybe the discomfort you create is something you could fix by being less of yourself. If maybe you owe these people a version of you that is easier for them to be around. You do not. You absolutely do not. Who you are is not a problem that needs solving. The identity crisis happening in the people who mock you out of jealousy is the natural consequence of being around someone real when you have been performing a constructed self for so long that you forgot what real felt like. That is their journey, not your homework. Your only assignment is to keep being yourself, fully, without the constant management of your own energy to accommodate people who are not doing the work to manage theirs. And if you are sitting with this right now, and something is landing, drop a comment below and tell me one word that describes what you are feeling in this moment. Just one word, because I want to see who Spirit brought to this reading today. And hit like on this video right now if it is speaking to you. It genuinely helps this reading find more people who need it. Let me tell you what is coming, because the cards are very clear about this, and I want to make sure you leave today with the full picture. The same things about you that bother the wrong people are going to magnetize the right ones. The same energy that makes insecure people reach for their phones to type about you in group chats is going to make aligned people reach for their phones to tell someone about you in a completely different tone. The same presence that creates identity crises in people who are performing who they are is going to feel like coming home to people who have been looking for something real. The mocking and the jealousy and the bothered energy you have been on the receiving end of, it is a clearing. Uncomfortable, sometimes painful, but a clearing. The people who cannot handle your frequency falling away is making space for the ones who match it. And those people are moving toward you right now. The Sun card shows me this clearly because the Sun does not chase, does not go looking, does not perform. It just stays exactly where it is, shining exactly as it naturally shines, and the right things grow toward it. You are already doing everything right. You just needed someone to confirm it. Signs check. And stay with me, because Spirit is getting specific and personal here. Water signs: Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. You have been feeling the mocking in your body, even when you were not present for it. That specific heaviness that descends when you sense your energy is being discussed somewhere you cannot see. That is not paranoia. That is your gift operating exactly as it should. Trust it. It has been right every single time. And the Sun card is sitting directly on your energy in this reading. If your name starts with a J, an S, or a C, Jasmine, Simone, Sierra, Carmen, Selena, Jordan, Spirit called your name at the top of this reading. You are the one whose authenticity is the most threatening thing in any room you walk into, and you have been dimming it to keep certain people comfortable. Stop. Their comfort is not worth your light. Earth signs: Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. The ones who build quietly and carry more than anyone around them ever fully sees. If your name starts with a T, a V, or a G, Tanya, Victoria, Gabrielle, Grace, Dominique, your groundedness is the specific thing that makes performing people lose their footing. Your solidity is the mirror they mock because they cannot maintain it themselves. Keep being solid. It is working. Fire signs: Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. The ones whose joy and warmth and natural magnetism is the specific target of the identity crisis energy in this reading. If your name starts with an L, an A, or an R, Leah, Aaliyah, Raven, London, Amara, Rochelle, the Sun card came out with your frequency all over it. You are the one they are most bothered by because your joy looks effortless, and effortless joy in someone else is the hardest thing to watch when you are working hard to manufacture your own. Air signs: Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. The ones who process everything, see everything, and say just enough to confirm that they see it. If your name starts with an M, a B, or an N, Maya, Brianna, Nicole, Naomi, Brooklyn, Melissa, you already understood everything I said in this reading before I said it. What you needed today was not information. You needed permission. Permission to stop being smaller than you are, for people who have not earned access to your full self. You have it, fully. From this reading, and from Spirit, go be all of yourself. And to every single person watching today, regardless of your sign, if this title stopped your scroll, if something in those words felt uncomfortably specific to what you have been experiencing, if you recognized yourself in the Sun card energy, and also recognize the people who have been bothered by it, this reading is yours. You are not what they mock you for. You are the thing they cannot become, no matter how long they practice. That is why they are bothered. That is why they mock. That is why the identity crisis happening in the people around you has your name on it. None of it is going to slow you down. Before I go, drop a comment below right now and tell me this. What is the specific thing about yourself that seems to bother certain people the most? Not because something is wrong with it, because everything is right with it. Type it. Say it in this space. Own it. Because naming the thing they target with ownership instead of shame is one of the most powerful things you can do right now. Share this with someone who has been mocked for simply being themselves. Because they need to hear today that the mocking is not about them. It never was. It is about someone else's identity crisis that has nothing to do with who they actually are. Subscribe, because every single week, Spirit shows up here with exactly the word the right person needed at exactly the right moment. And if you are not subscribed yet, do it now, because you do not want to miss what is coming next. Like this video if it landed somewhere real for you today. It helps this reading find the people who need it most. I will see you in the next one. Keep being exactly who you are, fully, without apology, without adjustment, without dimming yourself, for people who are not ready for your light. The sun does not negotiate with the people who find it too bright. Neither should you. Okay, see you in the next video, in the next reading. Take care.